Yes, I took some pictures from the outside. The first thing I was thinking about, what will happen if there are no plants, it becomes a desert. And is there also life in the desert with stones and sand and something? And it gave a little bit for me the nightmare of fear of the desert. Um, but otherwise, beside that same place, the plants are growing and managed. Only the government will mow down once in a year, and yeah, the things that are just growing there are thistles, grasses, clovers, St. John's wort, loosestrife, and so on. Beside that, also I had some small area with stones, and the same is happening there. And this is the flowers we planted the seeds in the ground. It's between the unmanaged part is in fact the same, a mix of self-managed square and sunflowers. That's what we got here. Then I was just wondering what the government and what organizations are doing here, where they were thinking about. And they had the idea of rewilding in the low countries here in Belgium and in the Netherlands. But then you have the struggle with the farmers. And yes, there is not so much space, and we are living in small countries, so that's and everywhere you can find buildings and houses and streets. So the space for the nature is becoming less and less, smaller and smaller. And then you got that struggle, of course, with the farmers. But it was interesting for me to read this. Then I was thinking about the health. What is interesting for people who are becoming older and older. And then I discovered the magic herb Solomon's seal for healthy aging of the muscular and skeletal system. But I also warned that don't eat the berries, because then it has no sense for healthy aging, because your aging will stop after eating them. And it was already known 100 of years ago. And you see it at old etching at the right side. Yeah, and then what I am doing the most in the project is trying to create things, to mix things in the sensor worlds, and for that I try to do it in 3 different parts. You feel that it's created by the same one, but in each world, of course, there is the stuff and the ideas also of the teams. But also what I like to do is think about to create a plant, how it can looks like and what it can do, but we are always thinking of like humans. Does it need to have eyes? Can it smell? Can it walk? Can it feel things? Yeah, this is with the video. I for the moment know it's the web page where the things are changing all the time, the light level, the soil moisture, the humidity, and the temperature. But it's going very slowly last time. I don't know if it still works that way. And here, this is the sound area, the sound that Kim created. If I'm well, he did it with artificial intelligence. and I created a small area, so when you are going close to this spot, you can hear that sound. That can be, of course, sound also generated by the data from the plants and flowers and trees. And in the background, you see the images created, taken by the photos taken by Jared. And I also try to keep that Polaroid as view of it. Yes, it's very warm in Sanser, so you feel in summertime all the time for the moment. But if you like, it can be also snowing and raining. Yeah, and this were my ideas about what to do in Sanser. What are the possibilities and what is the view and how does it looks. So that's what I did for the moment. Yeah, the active experience with the visitor is that they have information on the text boards. When they click on it, they got web links or text information, and they can, of course, in Sensor you can freely exploring the environment by walking, or by, in this case, in using a shuttle. In fact, it's a big installation. When you do in real life an installation, you can also walk around it. In fact, you can do the same in the virtuality. But for that, of course, you need devices, and if it's possible, also limited free space without obstacles, that you can walk really around and feeling that you're walking in this environment. Maybe if I'm able, I will try to buy a standalone virtual reality glasses to do experiments with it, not connected with the desktop to create, but I will check out if you can create it with the glasses itself. Yeah, and the diversity of objects, of course. And I add a new one today, just a text banner with a sentence of each of you and other people. So that's what I did. Some snapshots. Yeah, and the challenge where we are working together with Jared and Kim and Fred, how to create a connection between real and virtual. And then what I mentioned just before, can you give a virtual experience to the visitors in expos and installations? I have no experience with this, but as soon as I have that standalone device, I can also do tryouts with this, how it works for visitors. And another possibility is, of course, if you're online and you have a strong internet connection, that you can guide people, or your avatar can walk through those environments and give some guiding talk. So also that's a possibility.